Talking to couples, I found that creating the wedding seating chart is one of the real stressful parts of the wedding planning process for them. Today, we're focusing on the crucial yet often overlooked aspect of the wedding reception, the seating chart. Whether you are planning to keep the peace with family members or ensuring everyone to have a great view for photos or keep guests comfortably distant from the DJ speakers, a well-planned seating chart can make all the difference. So we are going to explore why this small detail can have a big impact on the flow and enjoyment of your wedding day.
Listen now and discover how to effortlessly plan your dream wedding by mastering the seating chart. These are Wedding Insider secrets for a stress-free, fun, and memorable day. Our podcast helps engaged couples navigate wedding planning complexities while addressing family expectations. Yes, we'll guide you through the journey of creating the perfect wedding day without unnecessary stress. Get concise tips on budgeting, wedding party management, ceremony, reception planning, and more. Perfect for anyone planning a wedding, all in 30 minutes or less. Trust us, you don't want to miss this.
Welcome to Stress-Free Wedding Planning, the podcast that will transform your wedding planning journey from chaotic to enchanting. Sal and Sam bring over 80 years of combined wedding expertise and exclusive insider information to the table. If you're recently engaged, feeling the pressure of wedding planning, struggling with family expectations, but still dreaming of a joy-filled wedding, you've come to the right place. Get ready to unveil the best-kept wedding secrets, discover practical tips and strategies, and learn life-changing lessons for a stress-free wedding. Your unforgettable wedding day awaits. We're here to take you on a transformative journey of love, laughter, and memories. So don't miss out on the podcast that just might change your life. This is the Stress-Free Wedding Planning Podcast with Sal and Sam.
Learn more about our experience and the journey to help you with stress-free wedding planning in the trailer or pilot of this podcast.
In today's edition, Effortlessly Plan Your Dream Wedding by Mastering the Seating Chart is brought to you in part by Clear Vision Productions and the Wedding Styles of Connecticut Wedding Shows. That's weddingstylesofct.com. But first, if you have a question or concern, go now to Facebook and join us on the Stress-Free Wedding Planning community and ask away. You can also join us on our YouTube channel. Just search for Stress-Free Wedding Planning Podcast, subscribe, and get it first.
Today, we're going to talk about creating that wedding seating chart and why it's so important. Now, a good seating chart ensures that your guests are comfortable, helps your photographer, and capture those great moments. It also keeps the dance floor lively without overwhelming anyone with too much music. It's all about making your big day smooth, fun, and most of all, memorable for everyone. Remember, we're not going to provide you with instructions on how to number each guest table, just how to possibly group guests together. Now, let's dive in. The first item that I really want to talk about is the guest comfort. So a good seating chart considers the relationship and social dynamics of your guests. It helps guests feel comfortable, and you kind of group together the guests that know each other. You don't want to put those awkward situations where Aunt Mary is with Uncle John and they don't really get along. This is key to your seating chart.
Something else about this too, you can put some people that they don't know but have common interests. I'm not going to say you need a footnote for each guest that you've invited to your wedding to kind of figure this all out. But you'll know, hey, now Uncle Ted, who's into model planes, and you have another friend that you know that also is into model planes. Maybe that's something that's a conversation starter and you can kind of really get socializing happening at that table. Another category you have to think about is special needs. By placing guests at appropriate tables, you can accommodate their special needs such as accessibility requirements and dietary restrictions. Something that I've been seeing now and I absolutely adore is that couples are going and having the names of each guest laser cut out and then actually assigning a seat to them. The great thing about this idea is you're helping the facility out with the distribution of food. So for instance, if Gloria's at a table and she has a food allergy, that will be, their name will be right there. It's easy for the staff to find Gloria and make sure she gets the appropriate meal, which is a beautiful thing. So you got to remember though, you have to put it in your wedding website that everyone's being assigned specific seating. Please do not move away from that seating because it will hurt the plan for the wedding day. And this is just so helpful too. The accessibility that we talked about. You have people with wheelchairs or people who, someone broke a leg and they need an easy way to get in. You want them at the easiest point of the facility so they not only could be seated nicely, but if they need to go run to the bathroom, it's harder for them to get there. Let them be closer to where that area is.
Now, funny you should mention the table name, Sal, because recently I took the weekend off and went to a friend's wedding, and they used, it's a Cricut machine that laser cuts out the names. And that's exactly what they did. Obviously, I've seen it at weddings before, but actually going to a wedding and seeing it, you have a different perspective. And they had placed each laser cut name at each table at the space that they wanted you to sit. I thought it was a fantastic idea, and it's very unique because everybody took the names home afterwards. So giving people that specific seating arrangement, and if they have any dietary restrictions or anything like that, placing them all together is really, really unique. So the next item on our list of mastering the seating chart is the timing. Now, a seating chart helps the event run smoothly and, of course, on time, especially for serving meals and organizing activities like speeches and toasts, etc. Having the key guests located where it will be easier to find them, it makes it much more efficient. If you're going to have people that are not in the wedding party, they're going to speak, they should all be at the same table together with their spouses. That will make it easy so that everybody knows where the people are speaking for. If they're in the wedding party and you have the wedding party on a head table, that makes it so much easier. But if you have the wedding party on separate tables and the couple have a sweetheart table, again, try and put the wedding party together so that everybody is together so that we know where everybody's going to be for the toasts or speeches.
Yeah, so some of the mistakes that are made sometimes, Sam, is putting someone who's going to talk and they're way across the room. And now we have to wait for them to make that complete walk to get there. And that's time that's important that we don't want to waste. So you definitely want to keep things simple. If you're doing any special pictures that's going to happen on the dance floor, if you could have those people closest to the dance floor at those tables so they could get up there really quickly when it is time, that's also a very good way to take care of that.
We've just explained a few reasons why it's important to create a well thought out wedding seating chart. This includes comfort for your guests, special needs, and that all-important timing.
Coming up next, we're going to discuss maximizing space, enhancing guest experience, special considerations, and personal touch.
This is the Stress-Free Wedding Planning Podcast with Sal and Sam, a podcast for engaged couples concerned about wedding planning and family expectations, but who want to have a stress-free, fun, and unforgettable wedding.
Wedding Tip Wednesday is brought to you by Emerge Cosmetics. Are you ready to emerge? Our line of lipsticks, lip glosses, and mascaras was created to empower and become who you truly are. Strong, beautiful, and confident. Use the coupon code SF1 at emergecosmetics.com for an instant 10% off. That's coupon code SF1 at emergecosmetics.com. Emerge is the true you.
Here's another Wedding Tip Wednesday. Take a break before the honeymoon. Don't rush out to the honeymoon right after you just got married. Things are just too hectic and you need to take a chance to relax a little, take a little breath. So do it maybe 2, maybe 3 months after, 2 or 3 weeks later, whatever works for you, but give yourself some time to be able to relax from the wedding and be able to go to your honeymoon refreshed and ready to go.
When I got married, the next day we rushed off on a cruise and then a plane trip to Europe. It was just crazy. We should have just waited. And that's the tip here. You don't have to go on your honeymoon right after the wedding. The next day, give a break in between. And that's another tip from Sal and Sam.
Wedding Tip Wednesday is available on the Stress-Free Wedding Planning Facebook group page every Wednesday. Join the group for free.
Are you ready to take your wedding business to the next level? Do you feel your marketing plan needs help? Then say, I do, to theclearvisionagency.com for improved online visibility and more bookings. Make your wedding business sparkle and get ready to see real results. The Clear Vision Agency can create a picture-perfect online presence for your wedding business with our SEO, social media management, content, and digital advertising programs. Theclearvisionagency.com. Call us today to claim your free digital audit and let's see how your business stacks up against the competition. Go to theclearvisionagency.com.
And now back to the Stress-Free Wedding Planning Podcast.
Welcome back to Effortlessly. Plan your dream wedding by mastering the seating chart. Hi, I'm Sal from After Hours Events of New England, the leader in making your wedding stress-free. Check us out on the web at afterhoursevents.ne.com.
Hi, I'm Sam from the award-winning Atmosphere Productions, wedding entertainment with expert knowledge and the difference in quality. Visit us at atmosphere-productions.com.
Let's continue with enhancing guest experience, the social interactions. Guests are more likely to have a good time if they are seated with people with like interests. Strategically seating guests can foster new friendships and connections, making the event more enjoyable for everyone.
As I mentioned before, Sal, you're absolutely right. I went to a wedding recently, and they put me at a table with a couple of lawyers, a couple from Florida. We never met each other before. We were friends of the father of the bride, but we got along like a house on fire. And it probably because the father of the bride knew our personalities. And throughout the rest of the evening, we were laughing and joking and, dare I say, drinking throughout the wedding. So Sal's absolutely right. That social interaction is so important. Strategically placing your guests that you know may like each other or have some sort of special relationship, or dare I say, don't even know each other, might be a good idea. And that strategic seating can lead to special considerations within the family dynamics. So you can manage where family members are going to sit and avoid conflicts, like I mentioned before, and actually enhance the harmony of your guests and family members. Now, your VIP family members should obviously all be sat together. And by that, we mean the elder guest grandparents and elder aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters of the father of the groom and the mother of the groom. They should all be seated together. They should get prime location. Another thing to think about as a special consideration is the photographer's angle. Throughout the seating, the photographer wants to capture some shots. So don't put important people at the back of the room, behind a pillar, next to the bathroom sign or something like that. Place them in key areas where the photographer can grab a real good picture and you'll have great opportunities in your wedding album.
Another thing for special consideration is when you have, like we mentioned before, family members who may not get along. Now, if they don't get along, you shouldn't have the ones that do get along at one table and one or two tables away have the ones that don't get along. Make sure you put them farther away from the person or people that they don't get along with, just so that there is no run-ins at any point. So another thing is personal touch and customization. A seating chart allows you to have personalization, such as creating themed tables or including unique touches that reflect the couple's personalities and relationship. Now, look, there's something that's very important I like to bring up. It's great to have themed tables, but when you're doing your chart that everyone's going to look at when they first walk into the building, please don't list the themed tables and then just list the people who are sitting at those tables. Those are very hard to find. So keeping everything in alphabetical order name-wise and then still having a table number. You should still have table numbers, I think. Even though you may have a themed table, have a table number there because that's easier to find and makes things move so much more easier and is so much more comfortable for your guests. By carefully planning the seating arrangements, you can help ensure your wedding day is enjoyable and memorable for all your guests.
Totally correct, Sal. The personalization and the customization is what I love about weddings. I had a couple once name all the locations that they went on vacation. Each table was a different country or continent. It was just fascinating to see where they had gone all over the world. Another client that named their tables after Star Wars or Star Trek characters. Whichever way you do it, make sure that you do it, that it shows off your personal touch. Make sure that you do it, that it's easy to find. As Sal said, number those tables, but still get table names. You want to make it easy. You don't want people to be fumbling around all 22 tables trying to find one table. It makes it difficult just having a name. By doing this, I think you'll really make it easier and obviously more stress-free to master your seating chart.
By carefully planning your seating arrangements, you can help ensure that your wedding day is enjoyable and memorable for all your guests.
So there you have it. We just shared with you insider tips on effortlessly planning your dream wedding by mastering the seating chart. From guest comfort, special needs, to timing, enhancing your guest experience, to special considerations and personal touch. We gave you the signpost to have a stress-free wedding.
Now, as you spend the next week planning your wedding, if you want me, Sam, or our community of stress-free engaged couples and wedding experts to answer any wedding-related questions, join us over in the Stress-Free Wedding Planning Facebook group.
Once you're in, go ahead and share your concerns and worries, and we'll let you know if you're on the right track or if there's something we need to work on. The link to join us is in the show notes of this edition. Or go to Facebook and search for the Stress-Free Wedding Planning Community.
A new edition is released every Wednesday. Subscribe and get it first. Remember to do something nice for someone today. And if you can't, do something nice for yourself. We'll catch you then. Ciao.
Thank you for listening to this edition. If you've enjoyed what you've just heard, leave a review and share it with a friend or someone who would benefit from this information. Until next time, it's TTFN. Ta-ta for now.
The Stress-Free Wedding Planning Podcast is produced and copyrighted by Atmosphere Productions in association with After Hours Events of New England.
Sponsored in part by Clear Vision Productions and the Wedding Styles of Connecticut Wedding Show Series.